The loss of Drakeo the Ruler was not even 2 weeks ago, and yet for many in the rap world it feels like it just happened, as Drakeo was one of the distinct and beloved voices of the LA rap community. His life was taken in traumatic fashion, and as a result of all that has happened and is still happening, many are wondering if things will finally start to change in the rap world, or if the cycle of violence will continue. However, for Drakeo the Ruler's brother, Ralfy the Plug, his only concern was laying to rest his brother and honoring him. We'll break it down for you. But before we do that, go ahead and do us a favor by leaving a like on the video, subscribing to the channel, and hitting the bell icon so you never miss an upload from us. And with that being said, let's get straight into the video.
Well, a man is reported dead after being stabbed at a concert in Exposition Park last night. TMZ is reporting the victim was rapper Drakeo the Ruler. It happened around 8:30 last night during the Once Upon a Time in LA Music Festival being held at the Bank of California Stadium.
Before we discuss the eulogy by his brother, we should recap what happened to Drakeo the Ruler, as it's still very much fresh in the minds of many. His death took place at the Once Upon a Time festival concert that was in LA, an all-day event that was being headlined by Snoop Dogg. Along with him was Drakeo the Ruler and about a dozen other people who were going to perform for the large crowd that was there. Needless to say, this was being built up as a major event, and it did live up to that potential, just in the wrong way. Drakeo was in the backstage area around 8:30 p.m. when a fight broke out, and during the altercation, he was stabbed in the neck, and that's what led to his death. He was able to be transferred to a hospital, but at that point, he was in critical condition, and multiple sources noted that he was indeed dead from his injuries. He died at the age of 28, adding him to a long list of rappers who never made it to the age of 30. Thankfully, the concert was shut down after his death was reported, and so Snoop Dogg as well as other artists like 50 Cent didn't perform. The LAPD were brought in to help contain everything and to make sure that the crime scene wasn't disturbed, nor that other people were hurt in the incident, to which none were, which is good. The bad news is that despite it being well over a week since it happened, there are no major updates in terms of what really happened outside the stated facts, who did it, and why, and so on. But while many are waiting for answers, Drakeo's brother took the time to make a eulogy for his brother. Ralfy the Plug is the brother of Drakeo the Ruler, and he took the time to go to Instagram and drop a message about his brother and why he will live forever despite being gone. His name gon' forever live on. Ralfy wrote alongside a photo of Drakeo. Literally was a king that got it out the mud, and I watched it all from the start. From recording all your little freestyles and posting them on YouTube, to smoking on the porch, waking up every day to spit this hard you be coming up with 10 minutes effortlessly to go into camp. Ralfy continued, every time I get out, you go back. Every time you get out, I went back. Beating indictments, starting your own label, and even getting a song with Drake, biggest artist in the game, and you did it by yourself. You was a self-made boss and a leader. You was my idol and big brother, and I learned a lot from you, and I'm definitely gonna make sure they still know the truth. A touching message, and it wasn't the only one left by those who were trying to honor the late rapper. A candlelight vigil was recently held for the late rapper in his community. Fans of the rapper spelled out Drakeo with candles and gathered to honor the life of the great young star. Hundreds could be seen looking on and taking part in the ceremony. Say what you will about the rap community and its fans, but it's very true that when the worst happens, the fans band together to make sure they pay their respects to those who are gone or were taken. Their tributes are very touching in and of themselves, but it should be noted that one person in Drakeo's family is looking at things from a different perspective, as she's looking to get justice on those who took her son, and she's already named a suspect. Specifically, we're talking about his mother, Darlene Corneal, who talked with Rolling Stone and discussed what she saw at the night of his death, and it was very brutal from her perspective. He was hit in his neck. I saw him when I went to the hospital. They said it's a homicide, so I wasn't able to hug him or kiss him or anything like that. I had to look at him through a window. Darlene Corneal told Rolling Stone in an interview at her Los Angeles residence. I need this to be out there. I need people to know, and I do want justice for my son, and I do believe that justice will be served. She said, I will not rest until justice is served. But who does she blame for the death of her son? That would be a certain group of people that accompanied a certain rapper. That rapper was YG. She saw a group of people backstage, about 40 to 60 by her account, and they apparently swarmed her sons and their entourage. They said there were like 40 to 60 people, Corneal told Rolling Stone. Members of the incoming crowd swamped her sons and their small entourage. She said, everything just happened so quickly. She said, they started trying to jump them. She said Devontae tried to protect his brother. He was trying to fight, but when he turned around, he could see his brother with blood gushing out of him. He was like, did they stab you? It was like there were so many of them. If that is indeed the case, it would explain a lot, including how a clear assailant hasn't been arrested as of yet, and how things happened without clear intervention by security. More on them in a second. Regardless, Corneal is not amused by what happened and why it happened at all. It's such a shame how much jealousy and envy can make people stoop to such low tactics to try to destroy another individual because of fame and progress, she said. When you start getting up there, people start getting intimidated. So I believe once his platform started going higher, people started getting upset. But while she was waiting to be brought into the investigation in terms terms of making her own statement on matters. She already knows one path she's going to go on to ensure her son and her remaining family get justice. "We plan to sue," she said. "This happened backstage at an event. Someone has to be held accountable." She doubled down on this in another statement soon after her son's death, because as she and other rappers noted, that large group of people not only shouldn't have been allowed backstage, but they all should have been searched for various kinds of potential weapons, but apparently weren't. They all let these people in, and you're not supposed to have all these people backstage, and your security is supposed to be in place, Corneal said in a statement. "The whole program should have been orchestrated a lot better than it was, and there should have been more protection. Even if you have metal detectors, even if you pat them down, you let those people come in there. You had more people come in than you were supposed to, and you allowed them to jump my son. You didn't protect my son." The incident only becomes more magnified in the wake of what happened at Astroworld, where a series of events in the crowd that weren't stopped by security caused the deaths of 10 people. Most people agreed that after what happened there, security at all concert events should be strengthened to ensure that something like it never happened again. And yet, a little less than a month later, a knife was allowed in and Drakeo the Ruler was killed. The biggest tragedy in the eyes of Drakeo's mother, though, was that he was trying to do good in the world, and now he can't. "He planned to do so much," Corneal said. "He wanted to help the homeless and do something for children who were needy, and he wanted to take care of his family. That is one of the reasons he got into the industry, because he wanted to help his family. He saw what his mother went through, raising him as a single mother, going to school, getting my degree with no help. Daryl wanted to help everybody." In his final interview before his death, which was sadly released after his death, Drakeo the Ruler spoke about how his life was not easy at all, but despite having the odds against him, he was able to beat them and live his dreams of making music, even noting that his cases in court inspired people when the odds were against them. "Never give up. Whenever you think it's over, it might not be over, because at the end of the day, I went to trial. I got about 6, 7, 8 not guilty verdicts. I beat damn near all the charges, and they still made me go again like, nah, it's over with. I could have been gave up, but I didn't. And with the DA laws, it was like, oh, you could go home now. Anybody in my position, I'm not a stranger to this. I've been going to jail my whole life. I know that everybody don't make it. I went to trial and I got my verdict. Everybody was like, damn man, you got worse charges than me and you gave me hope. 4 or 5 groups of people, they all lost, all got life. So I know it don't just happen. I don't take it for granted." Indeed, he did not, and he kept going no matter what until he literally couldn't go on anymore. What might be his true legacy though, is that multiple rappers are trying to use his death as a rallying cry to try to stop the violence that continues to happen in the rap community. Snoop Dogg noted that he was praying for peace in their music community. Wiz Khalifa noted that all rappers and hip-hop artists should try and show the love they want in return, and to not just go and act out in violence like what continues to happen. Whether this actually works or not is honestly up for debate, especially since things haven't slowed down in terms of arrest or violence in the community as of yet. What's more, the person who killed Drakeo the Ruler is still out there, and whether rapper YG ordered the attack or it just happened naturally as a result of a clash between the two groups is unknown at this time. The only certainty is that this should not have happened at this event, but it did. So what happens next in regards to preventing such a tragedy again is a big priority of both the concert venues and the rappers themselves. And there you go, everyone, to look at what happened to Drakeo the Ruler and how his brother mourns his loss alongside the rest of the rap community. With nothing truly resolved yet, do you feel that Ralfy and the rest of Drakeo's family will get the peace they deserve? Or do you think that things might drag on given the nature of Drakeo's death and the fact that police are still looking for the killer? Let us know what you think in the comments down below. Be sure to subscribe, and we'll see you next time on the channel.